Hey, what's up, guys? Just a little update this week. A couple topics I want to touch on. It's week 5 of my prep. Actually, today it's 1 full month of pre-contest, and I am starting to think a little bit more about my training and what needs to happen over the next at least 5 months towards this contest. And I know a couple of you guys that were asking me about how I'm going to train. Am I going to switch up anything, or am I just going to continue to follow CrossFit training? Number one, I am doing a completely bodybuilding day on Fridays, swole train Fridays. Basically to pull up leg and body parts that are weak for me. So I'm usually definitely focusing on arms there, mainly biceps, and I'll cycle in either chest or shoulders depending on what we've hit during the week with the general class programming, general CrossFit group class. And I want to make sure that I cover all my bases during the week. So one of the reasons that I'm choosing to follow CrossFit style training, it's pretty good. Like even for bodybuilding, it's pretty good. So if we're thinking about and looking at a general week, we're definitely doing some hypertrophy training in CrossFit. So hypertrophy training is basically, hypertrophy is basically trying to increase muscle size. That's what that means. So what we're doing in CrossFit is pretty much hypertrophy training if you really slice and dice it. So, you know, if you're watching this video, you're gonna get a little sneak peek of tomorrow's workout. Tomorrow we're doing the workout Angie in the CrossFit group class. Angie's 100 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats. Okay. Now, very few people are running through that straight through, and even if you are, that's pretty much a hypertrophy workout. Lots of time under tension. Lots of local muscular endurance, but really time under tension, big sets of push-ups, big sets of squats. So it's definitely a version of hypertrophy workout. So I'll keep workouts like that in, but I'm also going to be pretty smart and make sure that I'm working towards my goal. Not just going to train CrossFit for the sake of saying I did CrossFit to get ready for a bodybuilding competition. I'm trying to win a pro card this year. I'm trying to go in and win whatever contest I enter, win my weight class, and so I'm going to do whatever it takes to win, do my best this year. Not just stick to a training program just for the sake of it so I can say I did that in order to do that. So I'll be changing some things around. I maxed out my lifts right before, well, the last couple weeks I maxed out my back squat a little while ago, maxed out my front squat. Didn't get a chance to pull my single last week. I tried. I didn't get that 600 pounds to come up, but I'm gonna save it. I'm not gonna be pulling singles again for a while, and I may even stretch the rep ranges out on our strength days. So if we're doing back squats, I might push them up to the 10 or 12 rep range. So doing the same movements, but really having my goal in mind, and not just training CrossFit for the sake of saying I used CrossFit to get ready for a bodybuilding competition. That being said, I will train CrossFit, getting ready for the bodybuilding competitions that I'm getting ready to do, because it's going to work for me. And other workouts, like if you look at like a rowing and double under workout, solid, high intensity interval training, HIIT training. So it's CrossFit's comprehensive program, guys. You can make it fit whatever your goals are. So I'll change the workout slightly sometimes, but I'm going to be doing CrossFit to get ready for this competition. That's kind of the whys and why not, and what I'll change around as I'm moving through it. Okay. Little change in my supplementation this week. I'm going to be running 2 more Core supplements, Core Hard, Core Alpha. 2 really good supplements, especially in calorie deprived state. A little hormonal support. As your body fat gets lower, and definitely when you're in a calorie deficit, you deal with some lower testosterone, higher estrogen, and stuff like that. Your body doesn't want to maintain muscle or promote muscle growth when you're in a calorie deficit. It doesn't make sense for the body to do that. It wants to hold on to body fat, and so these 2 supplements are going to allow me, or the Core Alpha mainly is going to allow me to stay in that at least anti-catabolic state and potentially stay anabolic in some way or another. You can't be both at the same time, but at least have some anabolic properties, a little bit of support with that's Core Alpha. Core Hard is an interesting product. I started that this week, started it today. It really is managing cortisol. That's one of the big things that it does. There's some really interesting herbs in there, one being ashwagandha. It's super effective herb at controlling cortisol levels and actually reducing serum cortisol in the bloodstream. If you remember back to one of my other videos, cortisol is not a good hormone for the most part. When you're talking about muscle growth, it's a catabolic hormone. It has its place in cascading of hormones and stuff like that. But we want to control it and use it when it's most beneficial. Cortisol, prepares your body for that fight or flight kind of thing, really simply put. And we want to control it. We don't want to have too much cortisol, especially in a calorie deficit. So it helps with that. And there's quite a few other decent herbs in that product. It's my first time taking Core Hard. I'm interested to see how it goes. Otherwise, it was kind of just a week in the trenches for me. I was a little beat down last week with a cold, but I continued to train, do what I could with it. Things are moving along. Progress pictures are going well. I'll take another set this week. Probably just release those monthly to get a real idea of what's going on. Looking forward to this week. It's going to be a good week for our gym here, CrossFit Renaissance. Some pretty good workouts, and that's about it, guys. I'll update you again next week.